Have you ever had the chance to speak to someone who made you feel that you are the only person in the whole wide world at the moment? Someone who truly is interested and engaged in each word that you say? How did that person make you feel? Important? Understood? Not alone? This is the power of deep listening. Deep listening is more than a valuable social habit. It is a communication tool that can transform a person. With it, you are not only allowing yourself the time and space to fully absorb what your conversation partner is saying, you can actually encourage him or her to feel heard and to speak more openly and honestly. Hearing is simply to come to the awareness of sound. That is all. You recognized it, but you ignore it even if it continues. You are not really interested. On the other hand, listening is to pay attention to the sound or to hear something with thoughtful attention. Your interest is caught, though most of the time you can be distracted by other sounds, by your surrounding, by your thoughts. You do not really fully grasp what is being said to you. If you take listening to another level, you can arrive at active listening, which is choosing to be fully present in the conversation and fully focused on what the other person is saying. In it, you are seeking to remove distraction from your listening. Unfortunately, distractions are everywhere in this day and age. It is the nature of modern life that we find ourselves constantly trying to do more than one thing at once. This involves a mindful choice not to give in to distraction. It is difficult, for instance, to compete with smartphone. You cannot make proper eye contact with someone if they are scrolling through their phone while you are conversing. Active listening also involves avoiding the temptation to be formulating your response even as the other person is still speaking. This is easier said than done. People think a lot faster than people talk, so it is tempting to think of other things while listening. Instead, use that extra mental energy to read between the lines. Attempt to understand the meaning behind and in between the words being said by the person you are having conversation. Taking a further step from active listening, you can come to deep listening, which arises from the desire to better understand a person or situation and authentically connect to them. With active listening, we are waiting for a chance to respond. We are present and focused on the person speaking. In deep listening, we listen profoundly without judgment or preconceived ideas. We are open to surprises and new insights. We view the conversation as a journey to discovery. Deep listening is a way of hearing in which we are fully present with what is happening in the moment without trying to control it or judge it. We let go of our inner clamoring and our usual assumptions and listen with respect for precisely what is being said. Even listening to the not so obvious like the body movements and facial expressions of our conversation partner. Take listening to music as an example. When was the last time you listened to a song? By this, I do not mean when did you last turn on your gadget and proceed to have it played in the background while you do other tasks or to make you fall asleep. I mean, when was the last time you played a song in your gadget for the sole purpose of sitting down and giving it your undivided attention? For some, that will be very recently, but for the others, this is something unusual to the way by which they usually listen to music. To play the song, then proceed with your task at hand and simply allowing it to resound in the background is hearing. To stop what you are doing from time to time and hum the melody of the song or sing along once in a while, that is listening. To totally stop what you're doing and simply focus on the song, the lyrics, the instruments, the melody, the voice of the singer, avoiding distractions, assessing if the singer is good, thinking if there are other words better than those in the lyrics, judging if the song is really good or not, that is active listening. To give the song your individual attention, understanding every word of it, letting yourself experience the music and connect fully to the lyrics, the singer, and the instrumentalists, Simply enjoying every part of it, experiencing it with your heart and mind, with the authenticity of being involved with a song. This is deep listening. We often spend so much time using music as a filler, as a mood enhancer, or even something to fill an awkward silence that when it becomes our primary focus, it is a vastly different experience. Give it your full attention. In deep listening, you become a part of the music rather than just being an spectator. There are important aspects in deep listening that we have to remember. Eye contact. By maintaining good eye contact, you are demonstrating to the person you are conversing with that you are fully engaged and interested in what he or she is saying. A good guideline to follow is the 80-20 rule, in which 80% of the time, your eyes are meeting your speaking partners, and 20% of the time, your eyes are roaming as you take in what was shared with you so you can understand it more. Presence. The average person speaks between 135 and 160 words per minute, but the average person's brain works between 400 and 600 words per minute. This means your mind is going a lot faster than your conversation partner's mouth, which makes it easy for your mind to drift. It's up to you to stop your mind from shifting away from the conversation and to be truly present. Not only will you be able to fully absorb what your partner says, you will be able to respond in a way which makes them feel appreciated and understood. Mindful response. Are we continuing with a monologue we have already prepared in advance? Or are we genuinely engaging with what the person has just expressed? A mindful response often starts with a good follow-up question to acquire more information and understanding or delve deeper. An alternative is to summarize what the person has said in order to confirm we have correctly understood them. Either way, our intent is to explore the other person's point of view and not impose our own agenda. Nonverbal feedback. There's nothing worse than speaking to someone who gives no verbal feedback. It's like talking to a wall. Make the effort to give the occasional nod, smile, or other sign of recognition to your conversation partner. These nonverbal cues may seem insignificant, but have tremendous impact by showing your interest, understanding, and involvement in the conversation. Connection. When you are speaking one-on-one with someone, position your body in a way that creates a safe and welcoming space for him or her to speak openly. Lean slightly in, pull your shoulders back, and fold your hands gently in your lap or on the table in front of you. Do not position your body in a way that manifests detachment. Have self-awareness. Self-awareness is listening to ourselves. Deep listeners listen with the intent to learn and connect. We are unlikely to listen deeply and openly if we are not in tune with our thoughts and feelings. Like a clouded mirror which cannot reflect accurately, we cannot perceive, receive, or authentically interact with others unless our relationship with ourselves is authentic. For listening to be effective, we require a contemplative mind, open, fresh, alert, attentive, calm, and receptive. We often do not have a clear concept of listening as an active process. We often see listening as a passive, static activity. In fact, listening in a contemplative mind is open and vibrant yet spacious, and it can be cultivated through instruction and practice. In conversation, we are often so focused on projecting our own opinions and defending our agenda that we fail to hear the voices of others. This tendency is why deep listening practices challenge the way we normally engage in conversation. These practices rely on a commitment to self-control and self-awareness, as well as group-centered rather than self-centered approach. Deep listening is a very powerful tool in relationships as we become more aware of the thoughts, feelings, troubles, experiences of other people, especially our loved ones. It helps us to be more unselfish and be generous by giving our undivided attention and making others feel important and heard. Deep listening bridges the gaps between people's hearts and minds. It nourishes relationships and makes them last long. This world surely needs more deep listeners for a better and more wonderful home for all creations.